Hello and welcome along to another unboxing video here on AVForums. And in the review room today we have the Masters M17 AV processor from NAD, and we also have the M27 power amp. So let's take a look at the M17 first. So let's take a look in the box of the M17, and as we always say, this is a review sample, and as such we can't guarantee it'll be exactly the same as you find in your dealership. Let's see, the M17 is not cheap. The price is actually on your screen right now, the RRP. So this is a nice box, and for the money you would expect it to be a nice box. So it's a nice cover there, nothing on that side. Next is this nice little box here, which we will open up, and hopefully you can get a good look at that. So it's a USB flash drive. In here we have, okay, so they're magnetic feet for the unit, and I am guessing that in here now this is what you expect for the money. Now this feels gorgeous in the hand, really heavy. It's aluminium. There's the battery compartment on the bottom there, and it is backlit. Sorry, you just can't see it under the lighting here, but it does light up. Really nice remote control. Nice solid, what you would expect for the money. So the next thing is to get the actual unit out of the box. At this point you've probably noticed that I have hit the tripod a couple of times. I need to get this out because there are more things at the bottom of the box, so if you excuse 1 second. I've taken the unit out the way, we'll have a close look at it in a moment. There is another box at the bottom here, which we will open up. Okay, that one's empty, and I have a funny feeling that this is power socket for the unit. So let's have a look. And it's a power socket for the unit. So we'll clear this stuff away and we'll get the unit. So okay, here we have the front of the M17, and very minimalist, as you would imagine for a piece of high-end kit like this. Just the NAD logo there. There is a screen in the center. Obviously it's not switched on at the moment. We'll get that running before the end of the video. And then just to the right hand side here, we have the volume knob, and has a really nice feel to it. Nothing else here. It looks like there's a flap here, but there isn't. It's just the way it's designed. So let's take a look round the back. So I've said a couple of times in our reviews and in these unboxing videos that the rear of AV receivers and processors can get quite confusing, but it's good to see that NAD have gone along and made things really quite simple to follow here. So let's start with the top row. As you can see in the top row, there's two ways of connecting the processor to your power amp. You could use RCA outputs, and there's 7.2 outputs there, or you could use balanced XLR connectors, and as you can see we have the connectors here on the left hand side for that. And for the review, that is how we will connect it up to the power amp. We'll do it via the balanced XLR connectors. So to the far right hand side here, we have our IR and triggers and RS232 control ports. We also have the power socket and the power switch. In the central section here, we have our digital connectors. So we have our digital audio connectors, 8 altogether, 4 optical, 4 coax. And then we have our digital audio out, so 2 coax and 2 optical outputs there. And then moving to the bottom section here, we have our 6 HDMI inputs and 2 HDMI outputs. And then moving to our analog connectors, so we'll start with the video here. So we've got 2 component video inputs, we have 1 component output, we've got 2 composite outputs, 1 monitor out, 1 zone 2, and then to this side here we have another 3 composite inputs and another composite output. And then finally we have our analog inputs here. 7 inputs altogether, 3 and 4 are loops, so I haven't seen those for a long time, but that's if you're using a mini disc or cassette deck, you can use it there. If you are a vinyl user, I'm just having a look around the back panel here, and there's no way to connect a phono stage. You'd have to do that off board and then input it in. But that's the back panel of the M17, so bear with me while we go and get the M27 power amp. Okay, so a little bit of deja vu here. We have almost an identical box here for the M27 power amp. So we'll just quickly unpack this. Like I say, these are review samples, that's why the boxes are a little bit bashed and so on. Like I say, these are expensive components, and it's nice to see that some thought has gone into making the packaging that little bit special. When you first open up these products, you're only ever going to do it the once, and it's a nice approach that NAD have here with their Master Series. So let's just take the top off here, and it is quite heavy, and it is quite a substantial piece of packaging, that. So we'll take the box out the top here, and we'll get rid of this bit. So what's in this box here? Well, very quickly, I don't think there'll be any remote controls. I have a funny feeling that this will be a power socket, a fuse, and yes, the power socket is in there. I would imagine if you spent the type of money that this power amp and processor cost, you will take a little bit slower when it comes to unpacking, I am sure. We're kind of racing through this. We're kind of racing through this because I want to get it set up and start listening to it. So next in the box is a quick startup guide for the 7-channel power amp, the M27 there. And it tells you what's in the box as well. So the power lead, 4 feet, and a USB flash drive. So that's the quick setup guide there. Okay, the next thing is the unit, which as you can see is well wrapped up in this cloth bag, which is at one side it's closed, the same as the processor was. So if you excuse me, I'm going to get this out of the box and we'll see what else there is here. So very quickly, bottom of the box, I won't pretend that was light. It wasn't. It was heavy getting that out of there. Right, so what's in the bottom here before we have a closer look at the power amp? So we have clean instructions, USB flash drive, small remote control. I have a funny feeling that goes with the processor and not actually the power amp, but we'll find that out when we set them up. And also inside the box here, nice touch. I don't know if I can get that out. I can't. It's a spare battery in there. Then we have magnetic feet at this side for the bottom of the unit, and that's about it for in the box. So we got the M27 out of the box now. It is quite heavy. It's a 7-channel power amplifier. Not a lot to the front here. More interesting is obviously the top here with the cut throughs, where you can actually see inside and see what's going on, and obviously that'll help with heat as well. And quite sad to see, obviously it is a review unit, and there are quite severe scratch at the back there where the processor's been sitting on top. That's why the feet are provided. So obviously when you get your unit, if you're lucky enough to purchase one of these, make sure you put the magnetic feet on to protect the chassis. But obviously, I mean, if you're putting it in, you're never going to take it out again, are you? So it's just one of these things with review units. They sometimes get damaged through lots of use. So let's take a look around the back. You know, there's not a lot to tell you. Basically, it's a 7-channel amplifier, which you have your 7 channels. You have your connectors, so you can go RCA or you can go balanced. For this review, we're going to go balanced from the processor into the power amp. And then you have your speaker terminals down here, so you can either do the traditional bare wire in there or use banana plugs. And then the only other thing is at this side, you have your fuse, your power switch and your power socket, and that's the back of the M27. So thank you for joining us for this unboxing video of the NAD M27 and M17 processor. We're going to get them set up and start the review, which will be available at avforums.com/reviews. You can also watch more videos at avforums.com/videos. And why not follow us on Twitter and like us on Facebook. Thanks for watching.